Hi there, Lori Kirstein here from the Goodbye Good Girl Project. I have a cat here that wants my attention, but he's going to have to wait. Yes, you are, dear. I want to talk to you today about something, and I want to talk in a way that it just is really clear to me we need to talk. We women need to take on the situations that we confront as women who are entrepreneurs that are really not acknowledged. And that is things like lack of funding, it's disrespect, it's not being listened to, it's being sexualized when we're serious business people. It's the feeling when you walk into a room and you know that you're not really welcome there, you're not really one of the guys, and you don't really want to be one of the guys, you want to be you. Is it feeling like the only way that you know to do things is the way that you've seen? All of that is a problem, a big problem for us, because we are not many men. Here's the other problem. The other problem is that even the men who are playing by these masculine rules, they're playing by the toxic, not the divine masculine. And this is a big, big, big problem. And you can see that in our world as the structures, the systems start to break down under their own weight. This is how I perceive what is going on in our world. Is we've got these systems that are based on it's what's mine is mine and you don't get any, or if you get some, you're going to have to be as clever or lucky as I am. And we have to push, you have to push really hard, you have to pay your dues. And this is this kind of way of looking at things of you have to exhaust yourself, you have to be hard on yourself, you have to expect that everything will take a million years. It's actually not the way that things are anymore. There's been an energy shift. You can listen to a lot of people on YouTube who are physicists talking about this truth that things have changed. We're a little slow to get caught up because we've got millennia of doing it the other way. The toxic masculine, relying too much on the mind instead of not at all on the energetic, on the intuitive, on the emotional. And I can tell you that emotion is energy. Each emotion has a different energy. And that energy is not just stuck within your physical body, it radiates out. And you know that because when doctors are measuring your heart, they don't have to open your chest to get the information. They put little plugs right on you and they do an EKG. There's your energy right there on a little sheet, right? That's energy. We've not been using energy to do what we need to do. All right. So let's just take one quick step back from the energy thing to something that'll sound a little more grounded to you. What do we do when there are 40% of businesses being started in the US, 40% by women, started by women, and only 2% are getting funding? This is a problem. Now, if you just stop and you go, well, I'm frustrated, this is not right, I object, you are right. It is not right, it is frustrating, and I object. Now, I spent a lot of years in a lot of rage. Yep. And I'm still saying no to the nonsense. I still am saying no to it. But now I understand it from a different perspective where I don't have to get drawn into the drama, but I can get drawn in to the play. I can step into the play of changing the rules. So I looked at the system built by and for millennia ago, built by and for the rich white man. Okay. I mean, if you just look back as far as the 1800s, when the org chart came into being, that was because some owners of the relatively new trains that were crisscrossing the country to bring products to people to buy, there was an accident. And those owners went, dear God, we can't have that happen again. That cost us public trust. It cost us lives of people in the trains. It cost product. It cost a lot of things. We don't want to see it again. What do we do? And they took some time to come up with what to do. But the first thing was, who can we make responsible for this, right? Who can we put in charge of this, that if something goes wrong, we can say, it's you. You have to fix this. And so here we had eventually the org chart. That's the shortened version. All right. So that's what we had. And women were never a part of this setup. Not ever. Here we are in 2025, and we're fighting the invisibility of sexism. These days, both women and men tend to think, well, I know what sexism looks like. And I'm here to tell you, I did not. And I don't think that you probably have the full picture, because the full picture includes what you have taken in and made your own toxic rules to live by. How are you judging yourselves? How are you limiting yourselves in terms of, what can I do? Can I look at possibilities? I need to look at possibilities. So one of those possibilities, and this is happening more and more, is women supporting women. Not women only in your community of, let's say, your online community, but there are now banks that were started and are run by women for women. At places like this, you're going to get a much more understanding hearing about what it is you need. Women are going to be given loans. You're going to be given what you need to get started, to get your business going. We have to look to the unexpected. We have to look to what our intuition brings in. We have to go ahead and use the feminine strengths that we have. And intuition, as much as you may have been shamed for it in business, traditional corporate settings, is an incredible, incredible help to you. It will bring you to places you didn't expect. It will bring you new ideas that you didn't think of before, because it doesn't come from your brain. It comes through your brain. It's very, very cool, because I'm somebody who, I was taught, like you were, to think really hard and work until it hurts. And being a good student of life and everything else, I was like, I'll do it. But after 30 years of that, I ended up in a really unsuccessful place. I was broke. I was not a happy kid, especially because I was going, what is happening? I'm smart. I'm innovative. I'm creative. What's the problem? Why can't I get a business started? There are so many ways to look at that question, but the one thing that we need as women who are entrepreneurs is an understanding of why the whole thing as a structure isn't working for us, so we can stop beating up on us. Are you with me? Can you imagine how epic it would be to see a whole different way of doing this game, when you would not have all of the, I'm trying to measure down, to beating myself up, working 16 hours a day, holding myself to an impossible standard, waiting until I'm at my goal before I'm happy? Being happy every day because I can see the steps I'm taking. They are small steps and they build one on top of the other. And so suddenly, after 30 days, look where I am. Ta-da! I'm somewhere new. I've accomplished things. I've done things. Oh my God. I'm starting to build my faith, my understanding, my respect for me. That's a different game. It's a very different game, and it really demands that you bring in the feminine. I would like to talk to you. I'm putting together the structure. I'm working with paper and AI and intuition and my brain and my heart to create a community for entrepreneurial and leader women. What I want to do is have a place where we can work on visibility. I train people in breaking out of the social shoulds, in creating public public talks and then stepping into them with incredible authenticity and a sense of real joy, because I'm an actor. That's the other thing I do, is I'm an actor. And what you learn when you're an actor is how to be very honest about your emotions, the ones you choose, right out loud. And it feels amazing. Once you get over that initial, oh dear God, once you get used to that feeling, because the feeling is one of growth, then suddenly it becomes like such a joy, such a drug. So awesome to be able to meet with other people and meet at that deeper level and that more connective level. We need connection now more than ever, so that's awesome. And what I want to understand from my audience, from the people I help, and that includes those of you I've never met yet, I would really like to know what the nature is of the frustrations that you have as a woman starting a business. And what frustrations you have as a woman in a corporation when you are trying to communicate. You're trying to do things the way you would do them. You may think some of the things you're going to say are obvious, but they may not be obvious to me, because your perspective is your perspective. You've lived your perspective. You've lived your experiences, and I want to hear your take. So things can be external, but they can also be internal. For me, one of the main things that I took on, so that now I teach that as well, is how you deal with the inner terrorist. The inner terrorist is all of the misogynistic, sexist stuff that we are fed, that we were brought up with, and that we are fed every single day. And we're not realizing that it has hit our subconscious, and we've learned unconsciously to repeat it until it's gone on autopilot. But when you interrupt that, you can change that. I'm not going to go into that right now, but whatever it is that you would like to talk about, I would like to hear it in terms of what are your frustrations, because this is me doing my market research. So I wouldn't take more than 10 minutes of your time if you'd be kind enough to write to me at my email, goodbye, good girl, not goodbye girl. A lot of people make that mistake. Goodbye, good girl project @gmail.com. Goodbye, good girl project @gmail.com. I would love to set up an appointment with you to talk. Or if you would just like to email me and tell me, hey, these are my frustrations, feel free to do that as well. But I do prefer talking, because then I get to ask you questions that are really suited to what you're telling me. We can kind of delve just a little bit. I'm not going to get all up in your business, but I would like to talk to you just a little bit if we could. So thank you for listening, and thank you for getting in touch. Those of you who feel that drive to help me out, I want to really free us women for good from the social shoulds, the social programming. The thing is, we don't have to be 100% healed to heal. We don't have to be 100% healed to make changes and be doing the breakout kinds of things that we would like to do. And I'm not even talking major things like starting a podcast. I'm talking about, how do you stand in front of somebody who generally tends to make you feel afraid to be you, to speak up? How do you prepare for that internally, so that everything that they're saying, you've already prepared for it, even without them having been in that preparation? Because most times they can't be. They can't be. I can teach you how to do that. You really have to have a conversation in your mind, or on paper is better, and tell people, write down, here's what I'm going to say to this person. Then imagine what the other person's going to say. Write that down. And then you have to answer for yourself all of the doubts that come up, all of the fears, all of the places in which you agree with that person, so you can stop that addiction to that doubt. That's the very short version of this. But if you do this thoroughly enough, the next time you're in conversation with that person, you are going to feel, I promise you, very different. Please write to me if you feel so moved, and help me with a 10-minute talk. We can do it on the phone or we can do it on Zoom. It's fine either way with me. I really appreciate you. And I really always see in people all of the magnificence that we each are. So I already know you to be actually magnificent. It's just the way it is. Love and Moxie from me to you. See ya.